I just realized my mic was off while I was trying to talk. Yep, I am a professional. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, 100, yeah, totally professional. Well, anyways, hello. Welcome. We are going to be doing some NPM today, the Minecraft Bedrock server that I own. So, give me a moment to get it up here. I've actually got water with me this time, which is good. Much better. Alright, let's get in. Gameplay. And there we go. Oh, we're here. We're here. Okay, you guys can see. Good. Yeah, I was repairing my pickaxe last time I was on here. That wasn't on stream. But I needed to repair my pickaxe due to some issues. Jeez, this is a lot of stuff he has. Oh, you know what? There, see? Works perfectly. Oh, I'm not seeing any more spawns. And my pick is healed up to quite some good health, so I'm gonna go do something. Oh yeah, that's right, I was working on a project. Well, might as well go work on it. Oh, what the? Huh. Okay, that's strange. The sugarcane valley. Well, sugarcane forest, that's it. That's a better saying, not sugarcane valley. Oh my gosh, who did this? They better not have taken any iron blocks, because that is going to become a beacon. Oh, we're first to the nether. I completely failed that jump. Oh well. I can at least do this. Num num num. And to the nether. Because that's where I need to go. Oh, no, other way. Ah, yes, I forgot I did this. Nether tunnels. It's beautiful. Still a work in progress, but they're much nicer than what we had before. You can still see remnants of it. Ooh hoo hoo. I see a guest. That's no problem to me. That is... Crashing into a wall is quite a problem for me. And I hope it never happens again. I know it's going to happen again no matter what, so... And there's a blaze up here. I'm guessing that's where some quartz was. Actually, I remember mining that out. Insta-kill. Oh, time to get to mining because this is going to become a wither skeleton farm. So I can get wither skulls, wither skeleton skulls, so I can make wither. So I can get a nether star, so I can get a beacon. I need to find a better food source. And one that's easy to get as well. Because that's why I eat potatoes so much. It's an easy food source. Oh. I think that one was lost to the lava. I have no idea how many close calls I've had here. It's been so many. Alright. Just mine it all out. It's very quiet. I even went to the NPM Discord. Yeah, I did. I said that I was doing an NPM stream tonight. It's quiet. I'm only doing this because a viewer suggested it. I was originally going to do maybe like space engineers or something, but The viewer wanted it, so the viewer gets it. And they know exactly who they are if they're even viewing. Not even sure. Lots of that. Alright. More. I need more. Yes, this is very dangerous. Wonder if Peter's going to get on. He likes the NPM server. Well, this entire thing is being mined out. Oh, well, not entire thing. Mining it all the way down to 66. Because that's what's needed. At least from the tutorial I know. I'm not good at building farms. I'm good at finding them and everything. Hi, you missed my stream earlier this afternoon, bro. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I? Well, it depends on what time it was because I was asleep until around noon Eastern. And not only that, but I was also having to do a little makeup work for school, which I absolutely hate, but I have to do it. My parents forced me to. Oh boy, I forgot. I'm gonna have to mine all that out, aren't I? But wait, I only need to mine out these main bridges, so all the indoor area probably isn't that necessary. Alright. Take them all out. This is gonna be a good farm, hopefully. Not gonna be as efficient as the one that was shown on YouTube, but it'll be efficient nonetheless. It was at 3:21 p.m. and 6:54 p.m. Eastern. Alright, so yeah, I was doing work. Yeah, it took me a few hours to complete the work. Which is one of the reasons why I absolutely hate school sometimes. Just sometimes gives too much work. Oh, they were at. Alright. Well, yeah, I was definitely doing schoolwork then. What is a skeleton doing here? Well, he didn't last long. You know, maybe if I played some background music, people would be here more. You know what? In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I think I should. I did one in the afternoon and a night stream. Alright, yeah. I was probably doing work for those. Those take quite some time. But you know what? After this, or when I take a break, I'm going to set up a YouTube playlist that will play in the background whenever I'm not live, or when I am live but nobody's requested a song. That's how I should say it. No, into the lava it goes. Oh well. You're good? What do you mean I'm good? I know I'm good at Minecraft, but well, then again, if I'm good at Minecraft, I shouldn't be playing on the server. It's literally called Noobs Play Minecraft. I thought I just saw another ghast. Am I just imagining things? I probably am. I have finally gone crazy. I knew it would happen. Alright. Oh. Whoop. Gimme. No. It's too far. Oh well. Since you missed the stream, I understand. Oh, alright. That's what you're talking about. Oh. I don't know what else to say. I'm out of words. I've been trying to figure out how to entertain my viewers more. I've slowly begun understanding, but it'll take time, and I'll soon be entertaining enough. There we go. There's the. Are you looking? Are you looking at me? Blaze, sir, are you looking at me? Well, might as well keep mining. This is a small stream, or not a small stream, but a slow stream because of the fact that a viewer requested it for requested I do the NPM server. No, it was not an NPM member. You can try taking ideas from me, I guess, but I don't know what ideas to give you. Well, I'll just do what I do best. Do stupid things that entertain people. Because that's the type of stuff I've realized people like to watch. People in pain is one of the top ones. People doing stupid things is another one. I mean, have you seen how many people have laughed at somebody doing something extremely stupid? Because I know I have. Like that, I ran right into it. Alright, well. Oh yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, exactly. If you're... Things that people laugh at. Number 1, people being in pain. Number 2, people doing stupid things. Number 3, people actually doing funny things. Number 4, jokes. Actually, wait, no, that's like at the very bottom of funny things. Because people do not find jokes funny. In fact, dad jokes are so bad that they're good, that they're bad. So yeah, they're weird. Ooh, Blaze. Oh. I did absolutely nothing. Weird thing with the the Bedrock edition of Minecraft. People running into glass, like running into a glass mirror, I guess, those make me laugh. Exactly. Because it's two of the things combined. It's somebody doing something stupid and somebody getting hurt. You see why people laugh at them now? It's because it's two of the funniest things combined. And honestly, I am no stand-up comedian because I sit down most of the time. And as you can see, that was a horrible joke. So, people are going to probably start unfollowing, start disliking. Who knows what's going to happen? People are just going to start doing random things because I made one horrible joke. In conclusion, don't make jokes. They ruin you. Alright. Mine all this out. Oh. No. You should watch my Try Not to Laugh series playlist. Alright, I might one day. I may one day. But I cannot make any promises right now. So, yeah. This Blaze is about to die. Goodbye. So here's another thing. If you have ever heard of Soviet Womble, you know his hilarious videos and his great editing skills with his videos. Or we can watch it together, I don't know. Alright. Well, maybe that'll have to happen another day. For now, I'm playing this. But if you've ever heard of Soviet Womble, you'll know his hilarious videos and the crazy things he does and how good his editing is. Well, I found a smaller channel, only around like 100,000 subscribers or something, and he is basically the new Soviet Womble. Like, I am not joking. editing style is super similar. Yes, that's it. Similar. And the jokes are just as bad and just as racist. But they are so good that I would literally say he is the next Soviet Womble. Let's say Soviet Womble just disappears for whatever reason. This man could legitimately take his place. Alright. I think this looks good. Huh. Now what? Yeah, I need to find something else. Oh. And eat a potato. Because patat. You know what? I'm going to mine this out. This used to hold a blaze spawner. I kind of somewhat regret breaking it, but not that much of a problem. In fact, it repaired my pickaxe a bit, which is always nice. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. My heart just dropped. This is one of the 2 times my heart just has dropped. Now, you'll never know the first time. Thank goodness for protection! Thank goodness for protection! Oh my gosh, protection. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was so close. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm talking about heart-racing times when literally one of them just happened. Oh. Oh, I don't like that. I really don't like that. Well, back to mining because, yes. Perfect. Perfect landing. You know what? Now that I'm looking at it, yeah, this seems like a good idea. Just walk that off and walk away. That's a good idea. Oh my gosh. 2 just spawned in the same location. It's time to die. My sword is so strong that it can one-shot. Ouch. Ouch, that's wither. Ouch. Ouch. No. I'm not going like this. Not today. Jumps into lava willingly. So, over there is a spawning spot for literally every mob. But my question is, where are all the spawning spots? Because I know there's one there, but I don't know where the others are. You know what? Just because I'm feeling stupid today. Yeah, as I said, because I'm feeling stupid today. None of them reacted. I'm safe. Oh, wait. Look at these fools. Goodbye. Apparently I left at just the right time. Oh, that hurt. So wait, what was I talking about before I fell into lava? I can't remember. Oh well. Probably didn't matter that much. Alright, now what do? I didn't have much planned for today. You know what? In fact, I didn't have anything planned for today. hmm. But in fact, I usually don't have anything planned ever. Yeah, I should probably start planning. That could be a good idea. Alright, let's see. Now what? Now what should I do? You know what? Oh yeah, still snowballs. Let's go over here, because I do know one thing that needs to be done. However, I want a beacon for it first, so that's a problem. But it's finding out this thing. Little hole in the ground that's going to become bigger and bigger and deeper until you can't see. You just die. Why is there a pressure plate? I'm sorry, somebody put pressure plates here. I'm sorry. I see why, but no, just no. Yeah, apparently this dude died over here, probably zombie. Oh well. Nobody cared about him. Huh. Huh. Alright. Huh. Alright, no more purchases, but somebody has stolen a few items from here, I can tell. Let's see, has anybody been using the sugarcane? Nobody's been using the sugarcane. Oh my god. I should just use this as my experience farm. You know what? That's what I'll do. I'm just gonna have a sip of water. And let's just grab a bunch of sugarcane and fill up my inventory. In fact, you know what? I'm not even going to fill it up yet. I need to empty it first. Alright, there we go. Don't forget armor. Alright, well, time to go down. Alright, and lots of paper to make, which I can use for experience. That's a good sign. That's a good sound, more or less, actually. Alright, I'm gonna grab my pickaxe and start healing it up. I feel like it's not repairing. Or it is, it just has a lot levels needed to repair it. Alright, well. Oh no, but it is repairing. I just wasn't realizing it, probably. Oh, okay, well. More emeralds to the chest. Time to repair my shovel. Lots of experience. Lots of paper, lots of emeralds. This is repairing nicely. Quite nicely. Far too nicely. Oh, well. Grab more paper, that's the only option. Alright. More emeralds to the chest. Let's go grab some more paper. We'll sugarcane them paper. Alright. Alright, that should be enough. I love how there's like 50 different buttons there. Alright, oh. Yep, it was you, wasn't it? No, it was you. No, it was you. Okay. I don't know anymore. Is there any... Nope, no experience between the cracks. So, time to make some blocks of emerald. Put them in the chest. You know, what if I were just to use emerald blocks instead of everything else to... Instead of iron blocks to make the beacon? You know, that could be a good idea. Now that I think about it a little more, that is a very good idea. In fact, what if I did a combo? That wouldn't look good, but it would definitely be better. Let's just see how many emeralds there are. Or iron, not emeralds. No, iron. Why is there a bow in here? In fact, I can put 6 back. There. Alright, time to make 3 more blocks. As if that's going to be of any use. Haha, 3 more iron blocks. I am unstoppable. Don't know who did this, but... And I know his name is Jeff, but... Can he hit me? Or wait. Oh no, he's player made. Oh. Oh, okay. He's player made. Got it. So that means he will not attack. Somebody stole my iron blocks and used it. Oh my gosh, no. Somebody just used 4 iron blocks to make this dude. And name him. Well. You know what? I'm just going to leave him there. Because I don't care, really. At all. However, what I do want to look for is a jungle. That would be very useful. Whoa. That's a lot of stuff. Or a lot of saddles and stuff. Whoa! Okay, well then. Alright. Time to grab my horse. My horse? I don't know where the horse came from. I've just taken it now because nobody has claimed it. I'm just going to ride off into the sunset. And by ride off into the sunset, I mean look about 3,000 blocks this direction to find a jungle. Because I flew 3,000 blocks in one direction. Not even flew, I literally walked most of the way because my elytra broke. But I went almost 3,000 blocks in one direction. And I instead of finding a jungle, I found a mushroom biome. Out of everything, a mushroom biome. Didn't get a jungle, but got a mushroom biome. Why? Stop going into this hole. Give me that grass block so I can cut off access. There. And now to ride off into the what was once a sunset. It's now gone down. Problem is I can't even go third person on a horse because if I do, it makes me look north, directly north. Which is annoying, always is. But anyhow. Oh jeez. I have no idea what is 3,000 blocks in this direction. Who knows what we'll find? Who knows if we'll find another mushroom island before a jungle, but we'll have to see. That is not good. That is no good. What the? Okay. For a moment, I thought it was like player-made stairs into a mine or something, but no, it was just a cave with with a weird shape. What? There's a sapling. Oh, that's why. That's why. Oh, oh, geez. Stop shoot. Don't hurt my horse. I can hurt my horse, but you can't. Ouch. Stop looking that way. What? You know what? We're off. We're off. But yeah, that's why. It's because, I think it's Harry. And I think Harry's over here. Yeah, there's... Oh, wait. No, he's far away. I want gunpowder. That's about it. Well, no gunpowder, but killed a creeper nonetheless. Oh, another creeper. No, maybe I should just go out and kill creepers instead of looking for gunpowder. Are you making a gunpowder farm? Hee hee, you can't hit me. I'm too fast. You know what? Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. Did you see it in the distance? It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Yes. Come to me. The most useful thing in the entire world. And it's right there. Only about 1,500, only about 1,000 blocks out from my house. Ice. Oh, sweet ice. I honestly, ice is so useful because packed ice can be used in the nether. And hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. Oh, how am I... Oh, no. Don't tell me. Oh, there's another 2 gunpowder. You know what? Great. Just because I don't have the fireworks for it. No. 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 I hate skeletons. Hey. Oi. 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 You want to go? You want to go? He wanted to go. I kill him. We've already got a skeleton farm, so I don't really need any of that. In fact, that's what I came over here for. The sugarcane. So I could make it into paper. Hold up. You know what? Here's the nice thing. Paper. Fireworks. Boom. What a fool. Thought he could take me. He wishes he could. But I'm far too powerful. Alright, where am I going? That's my question now. Oh, I collected the bones. Oi! You know what? No. I don't care about you. I am looking for something else. Something that isn't you. I mean, honestly, why are dark... Ooh. I've been told that works. It doesn't. Ugh. Yes, I'm using a shovel to collect sugarcane. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. What a fool. Thought he could take me on again. Oh. Collect that. Where'd my horse go? Where did my horse just disappear to? Oh my. Why? What's on this hill? Oh, creeper. That's what's on this hill. Huh. Skeleton wish he could hit me. But nah, he'll hit my horse instead. Alright, got that gunpowder. Let's keep going. I hate that. Absolutely hate it. Okay. Can't even hit the horse anymore. Perfect. Yep, this is very quiet. Very boring. Why did he suggest this? That's my only question now. Why suggest this when it's so boring and quiet? Doesn't make sense. I mean, I guess he was hoping for a little action, but no. No action here. Just me riding a horse around to find a jungle. Because I want bamboo. I just realized I could just put my horse on a lead and lead him across an ocean. Stupid idea, but it worked. It would work. Ouch. Okay, I'm leaving. Jeez, how rude. Hmm. Hmm. Why are there so many rivers? I mean, I have Death Strider, so it doesn't go that slow, so it could work. It could work well. Now, where do I go? I hate these. I hate them. They're so annoying because there's just so many trees and leaves and everything. I can't go anywhere, especially with a horse. Maybe I should just fly. That could be a good idea. Oh, no, wait. Here we are. Ice. I should have brought some shulker boxes, or lots of shulker boxes, because that could have been very useful on this journey. I could have collected lots of ice. Oh, across the ocean we go. Huh. Oh. Alright. Alright. There's lots of ice, packed ice, and I saw some blue ice, so that's useful. That's very useful. No, no, don't tell me it's an actual iceberg. Should have brought a bucket of water or something. So if I did find any lava, I could turn it up to into obsidian and make a nether portal to here so that I can get ice much quicker. I mean, honestly, I've been venturing. I have ventured out further than I did to find the end portal, the stronghold, all of that. That's how far out I have ventured. Come on. But hey, there's a village, so it's worse. Yeah. There's nothing good about this here. Ugh. You fool! You've activated my trap card! Run! Gotta heal, gotta heal, gotta heal, gotta heal, gotta heal. Shoot, 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 shoot. In. Emerald, 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 emerald. Good. Is he dead? Oh no, he's not dead! He's not dead! Okay, now he's dead. No, kitten! Bunny! I'm just bad luck to this village, aren't I? I come here, I kill the iron golem, a cat dies in a cactus. And a bunny also jumps in. Okay, you know what? YOLO! Oh, there's slime chunks here. Oh, look how cute they are. They love me. But I sadly must kill them all now. What? Here, little one. There he is. Slime. Lots of it. That's good news. Ow. Ow. That hurts. That burns. That really burns. Literally, it burns. It's freaking lava. Oh, hey, look, water. Perfect. Oh, I'm near diamond level. Oh, or I am in diamond level, but I'm near good diamond level, mining level. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get some iron. Oh, wait, I can't get cobble. This is a silk touch pickaxe. Oh, obsidian, though. That's good. You know what? Whenever I find obsidian, I mine it because that can be very useful, such as nether portals. Okay. Lots of obsidian, jeez. Oh. Alright. I'm getting cobble. 8, there. Perfect. I've done it. I've done it. Okay, put that in there. Can I use coal ore as a fuel source? I think I can. I hope I can. If I can't, that's annoying and should be something. Should actually be something you can do in Minecraft, but if you can, great. I'm going to. Why have you forsaken me? Can I use sugarcane? Paper? Oh, wait. I've already got 3 iron on me. So apparently I did all of that for nothing. Got it. Actually, I still need this. Yep. Thank you. Sure, I might be able to survive in lava for long enough to get out of it, but still useful to have. Now, diamonds. Diamond, diamond, diamonds. Ooh. Could this be a gravel trap? Oh. It partially it is. Okay, I thought so. It looked too suspicious. What's this? Alright. Well. There's some good old redstone over here, which, by my standards, is always good. Because, as I've said, if you tell me I have too much redstone, I don't. You just don't have enough. Oh, some lapis, that'll be good for enchanting. Ooh. Alright, Alright. There. Up and around we go. I am so going to lose the exit of this place. That's not going to be fun. Okay, that doesn't... Oh, there goes gravel. Ooh, there's obsidian. Never mind. That is very deadly obsidian. What? Where am I? As I said, I will lose the exit. Alright, oh, I've got to go this way. Okay, I see how it is. This is like 20 different caves spawning into one. Okay. Okay, nope. Nothing over here. Oh. No diamonds, I should say. This has definitely got to be a gravel trap. No? What? No. That is. That's an enormous gravel trap. But that, my friend, is diamond. Now, who knows how much I just got there, because I need to use my Fortune 3 pickaxe, but... Oh, more. Okay, that's good. Alright, yep, just update all that. Climb the giant gravel pillar. Use it as a gravel bridge. I don't like that. Oh, okay, I see how it is. Oh, I could have just mined that. Got it. Well, redstone. There's nothing over here. Great. Oh, great. Gravel. Yeah, I'm happy I got up now. More diamond? Okay, well, this is working out quite well. No. Okay, there's nothing over here anyway. Sting it. There. That was just too annoying. Huh. Have I looted of this, have I gotten this place out of all of its diamonds? Because it's looking like it. And I'm gonna say, yeah, I did. Could there be more hidden areas around here that have lava and diamond? Such as this one, but that doesn't have any diamond. Crazy part is, because I still haven't used my Fortune 3 pickaxe, I could be holding 1,000 diamonds right now. Not actually, I wish, but... I have no use for this. Oh, gunpowder, perfect. You know what? 2 buckets, that's not bad. That is definitely not bad. Oh, more gunpowder. Ooh, some redstone. That's useful-ish. What do I not need? Actually, you know what? That's good enough. I don't need much of anything else. Wait, is that grass? Did I just see? Yeah, that's grass. Okay. Got it. That's quite normal. I was like, wait a second, am I on gravel? Thankfully, no. Oh. Well then, lots of gravel traps in this place, huh? Ah, and there's nothing over here. Other than coal and redstone. Which, redstone, good. Coal, not so good. What? Wait. Oh, okay, so it's just another wall. Well, time to keep moving because there's nothing much here for me. Although there's lapis, which is always useful. Ooh. Why? good. Thank you, Creeper. You have saved me some time, I think. Ah, great. This gravel trap was my... Okay, well, you know what? Screw it. I'm not leaving that way. Oh, I'm over here again. Oh, over this way, I guess. Wait, did I... that was once diamonds. I know it. Did I seriously hop over diamonds? I think I did. Wow. I just created a wall. I am now protected. Never mind. The wall is two-way. Is not even two-way. It's a zero-way wall. Meaning it just failed. I guess it kept from mobs seeing me because those zombies weren't climbing over immediately. I should have brought more potatoes. And that water is floating. Ooh. No, that's seriously not a gravel trap, huh? It definitely felt like it. Oh, and I'm back here? What? Oh no, this is a new spawner. Okay, chaotic, but ooh. Ooh, I like that. I really like that. Alright, more redstone. 13. I must grab it and bring it with me now. Feather Thralling. Okay, yeah, that's not a good book whatsoever. But more fireworks. So I guess not all is lost. Wait a second, I am back here. Okay, I see how it is. It's like, I'm not back here. Wait, I am back here. Oh. The question is how? How come I circled around so easily? I don't even know. Yeah, but this is that area. So I'm just gonna look for an exit now. Hopefully this is it. Wait a second. Oh, that's the gravel block. Great. And how... What? I don't know where I am anymore. I don't know who I am anymore. Oh, okay, now I do know where I am. Not entirely, actually, but... I've got an idea. At least an idea. Alright. Oh. Time to keep roaming around, hoping I can find something good. You know what? I'm going to use this. This is my escape. No, it's not. Got it. And as much as I should mine out, I don't feel like it. So I'm going to find a way out. Another way out. Why? How did I fail that jump? That spider had nothing on me. You know what? Perfect. Now, take some gold, because why not? And I've been told gold and carrots are a good food source, so I'll try it out. Perfect. This is a dead end, isn't it? Yeah. Yep, dead end. Oh, look. Perfect. Totally what I needed. Could this be an exit? No, it's not. I'm just trying to find a new way out. Not even looking for the old way. Oh, and I'm back here. You know what? I'm just going to take the old way out. Because I somehow keep going around. This cave is trying to keep me here, isn't it? I knew it. The cave works for the bourgeoisie. And because I have secrets about the bourgeoisie, that I know that the birds work for it. They made the cave work for them, so that I couldn't release those secrets. Little did they know, I always find a way out. Maybe. Maybe I always find a way out. Right. Yeah, I totally know where I'm going. I'm totally not lost. See? See? What did I say? What did I say? That looks like daylight to me. Totally not. Hey, look at that. It is the way out. The cave could not keep me in. But I'm going back in for more diamonds, hopefully. No, never mind. No diamonds, oh well. I mean, I've already got 8 diamond ore, so good enough. Okay. Now we're talking. Huh. This ravine just barely. I know where that goes. I already know where that one goes. The cave might work for the bourgeoisie, but the ravine doesn't. So that's good. Num 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 num. Perfect. Alright, well. I found many buckets, which is always good. Maybe I shouldn't keep the bucket on the last slot of my hotbar, although I could switch to it quicker if I was smarter. You know what? Haha! Where's my horse? Wait, what? Where'd my horse go? How far has my horse traveled while I was in that cave? Great, I don't know. Well, yeah, I thought I saw one over here. Still no jungle. I mean, honestly, villages are more common than jungles now. I'll take that TNT in a moment. But first, the goodies. Such as gunpowder, golden apples, more gunpowder, emeralds, those aren't as good, but gunpowder. And honestly, I don't really need gold, so Oh no, I don't have enough paper. Ouch. That hurt. Alright, well. Oh look, sugarcane. Perfect. Haha. Darn, I don't get any skill points. Or, well, anything. Ah, jeez. Still have more gunpowder now, huh? Well. Okay. How many icebergs am I going to find now? I mean, seriously. Last season, I was surrounded by 2 jungles. 2. This season, there are no jungles. It's swamps. Like, my computer is chugging because of all of the new terrain it's loading in. In fact, you can probably feel the frame drop on stream. But I'm just having some water while I wait. Because, honestly, I am loading so much terrain with no luck. Like, seriously. Where is everything? Where is the jungle I have been so desperately looking for and searching for this entire time? I mean, it's just giant deserts and savannas. Oh my gosh, another one of these? Will it have diamonds though? Ooh. That's the good question. That's the real question. That's the only question. Gold apple. Check. Iron. I might grab iron, but there's gunpowder, so I'm grabbing that first. Ooh, more apples. What is all this trash? Ouch. Oh, hello, JC. Look, I took your request, and I'm playing NPM. Problem is, I'm looking for a jungle. Finally! Wait, this isn't no normal jungle. It's a bamboo jungle! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it took me so long. After so long, after so many hours of searching, after thousands of blocks, I have found it. And to mark it here. Okay, redstone. Perfect. Now, I don't have any gravel. I should have brought one of those. Oh, creeper, you are mine. Phantoms, you are not mine. Oi, who do you think you're going for, huh? It took me so long to find this place. After so many hours, I have found it. Oh. Finally. Oh. Ouch. Hey, I'm trying to eat here. You know what? Oh yeah, JC, have you gotten it yet? Have you? Well, yeah, I know you got it. Have you tried connecting your account again? The creepers work for the bourgeoisie, as you can tell. Okay, honestly, what am I doing here, actually? Gravel, that's why. I will have to see, but later. Alright, well. The sooner you do it, the sooner you can play on the NPM server. I love this how the second you join, I find a desert. Or not a desert, a jungle. The thing I have been searching for this entire stream. Right as you join in, I find it. Oh, you want to go? Well, I don't want to go, so I'm just gonna chill out in here. Chillax. Just chillax in here. Don't. Oh, wait, I do have fuel. But I do have gold ore, that's right. There. Jeez! Bamboo goes fast. I forgot how fast it went. I mean, how much bamboo does it take to smelt an item? To smelt, how much bamboo does it take to smelt one ore? Okay, let's see. Alright, let's see. Bamboo. Hey, hold on. What am I looking for? Okay, so it takes 4 bamboo just to smelt one item. Got it. All right, I'm out. All right, I'm out. But I need, what's it called? I need some gravel. Perfect. 1 piece of gravel is all. Ay! I was wondering where he was. Alright. You know what? I'm gonna hide in here. And keep destroying this gravel until I get flint. Oh, I don't have iron! What? Should have grabbed some iron from that desert temple. You know what? Where is that desert temple? Ah, there it is. Perfect. I'll grab some iron from it, and then I'll use that to light the portal. Because, boy, is that going to be a much quicker journey home. Okay, iron. 1 iron ingot. Perfect. Okay, flint and steel. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Ouch. I dodged for a second. Can I? Wait, hold up. Bamboo can burn! Bamboo can burn! Oh no! Ouch. Okay, so I can burn down the forest. That's good to know. Where am I? Shoot. I don't remember the chords of my normal portal. Huh! Huh! Please. Ugh. When you play dodgeball or tennis or whatever with a gas. Ugh. Ugh. Got him. No. No. I don't know. Did it go down there or what? I don't know. Oh well. Guess we'll never know. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to take the corners of these things because that'll give me up to 10 obsidian that I need. 8. 9. 9. 10. 11. Perfect. So where is my normal nether portal? I'm going to say it's around 0, 0, but who knows? Thankfully, I have a lot of fireworks now. Huh. Oh, okay. Good news. I have found it. Apparently, the nether portal is in the direction of the end portal. Okay. Oh yeah, I did head off in that direction, didn't I? Well, I did it. I have completed my mission. Success. Feels good. And now, I put all of the earnings, except the redstone, because that's useful, in here. Yep, it feels good. It feels very good. Knowing that finally a mission has been successful. Also, yep, here it is. Alright, 2 redstone blocks. Perfect. Right. Okay, now diamonds. Where is my... Yeah, here it is. In fact, you know what? Oh. Lapis. How much fireworks do you have? Just over 2 stacks. I don't understand why that is such a surprising thing. It's quite easy to get fireworks. There's a fly in my room. It must be destroyed, just like the younglings. I have done it. I have killed the fly. Oh, up I go. Oh yeah, that's all potatoes, isn't it? Ah, it's a beautiful land. As it slowly loads in all around me. Alright, come on, load quicker. Yeah, as I said, it's a beautiful land. As I slowly just let it all load in. Alright, well. Fortune, go! Cling, 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 and lots of experience. Ah, perfect. Oh my gosh. I have overflowed. I have just enough lapis to make another block of lapis. Look at this. Yes. It's beautiful. Alright, well. Put that back. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep it in here. That'll be good. I'm going to put that in there. There's a... Yep, there they all are. Arrows. Now, sugarcane. Perfect. I can make tons of paper. I can make tons of fireworks. Ton more fireworks. Perfect. And I have just one left over. Wait, hold up. I have over 4. I have just 4 stacks. Wow. I'm surprised. Well. Now the question is, what do I do? Now that I've completed my mission. What do I do? I mean, I have 3 different projects going on. Got the giant dig over there. Well, bigger dig, smaller dig over there. Got a nether thing going on there. And then I have this automatic smelting thing over here, which honestly is going to be quite useful now that I have gotten bamboo, because if I make a zero-tick bamboo farm, I can use all that bamboo to fill all those furnaces. And yeah, so what do I do now? Or, you know what? I could do what I normally do. And make a snowman army again. I have been granted far too much power. Where do I put 13? I don't think I have 13 yet. Yeah, I don't. Oh well. Oh, time to grab pumpkins. And get as much snow as I possibly can. Perfect, I just need 1 for now. Perfect. It is ready. What the? Why is there an ender chest there? And so it begins. I do this until my shovel is nearly destroyed. Turn it all into blocks of snow. Snow blocks. And then put pumpkins on top of all of them. Alright, time to go round quickly, collect them all, make them into blocks, and continue. And so it begins a second time. The war is upon us. Nobody can stop it. Nobody. That's the best part about it. How much snow can I collect with this shovel? I mean, honestly, it's surprising. No. Yeah. This gets quite tedious and boring. You know what? I'm gonna collect up my snowballs. Oh, time to make more. Oh shoot, that's right. They can't be in there. They can't be in the water. Alright, let's see. So many. The land is going to be filled with snow once more. Just like the old days. Although, not really that old of days. Ah, those were the good days. Because those were the days when snowmen ruled the land. And all you could do is watch as they slowly spread snow around the world. Oh, time to get more. Because I ain't going small this time. Last time I did not much of my shovel. I did maybe half of it. Not even, actually. This time I'm going all the way. I am going so far this time that nobody can stop me. Oh boy. And this man is going to have to sadly stay here as his friends all go around, pushing each other into the water and, well, do what they do. Because I need him for the next wave. Because this is wave 2. Wave 1 happened some time ago. It was a great old time. But now we must go to wave 2. Whoops. Oh. Perfect. You know what? More. And now it continues. The best part about this is I no longer will have to worry that much about mobs because the snowmen will take care of them. Oh, wait. This is the great part about the Snowman War. I have no control over what happens. So while I can spawn them in, I can't control if they'll walk straight into the water. Which they have done many times. Or into the nether. You fool. This fool has no idea what's about to come. Want to be in a call? I am in a call. It's on the NPM Discord though. And because you're not a member yet, you can't join it. Alright, well. Oh, yeah. Which is why I still highly suggest that you get your Microsoft account hooked up as soon as possible. Oh, this is going to be great. I've released an army this size once. Actually, no. I've never released an army this size, but now I will. And it will be glorious. Perfect. I just need another 1,000 pounds of snow. My shovel isn't even half yet. Oh, now it is. But that just shows you how much is going to happen. And it continues as I place down even more. I don't know if my little area has enough space to hold all of them. But I will fit as many in here as I can. Alright. Oh. Oh, more! I dropped my shovel. More! The army grows in size. The tedious part is putting all the... This isn't even... Actually, this is quite tedious, but this is one of the... This is one of the two hardest parts. The other part is getting the pumpkins, which I'm going to borrow infinitely from Peter. Oh. And so we wait. No, I'm not going to stop shoveling until my shovel is on the very last bit before breaking. I mean, I honestly wish I could see how much durability has left. So it's like, you have 1 durability left. Well, I could be like, oh shoot, probably best to stop using it. But this is just great. This is just greatness. Actually, I have to stop because otherwise all the snowballs are going to despawn. But time to get going again. As it slowly grows again. Oh, imagine not doing this with a shovel that has Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 5, and Mending. And don't forget Silk Touch. Yeah, this is great. It's so slow though. So sad. Here's something else. Apparently, never enchant on this version of Minecraft. Never enchant anything with an enchanting table. Just don't do it, because if you disenchant it, it's not going to help you at all. It's going to hurt more or less. Which is why if I go over to the Iron Farm chest, you'll see so many abandoned diamond tools and everything. It's because all of those have been enchanted with something. But yet, we can't re-enchant them because the enchantment cost is going to be far too high. So yeah. Alright. More. I already know that, well, wait, what was he going to say? I don't know how many pumpkins I'm going to need, so I'm just going to fill my inventory space with pumpkins and see how far that gets me. Alright, come on. So close. So close. The army is nearly complete. Soon, everything will have gone according to plan. Okay. So many blocks of snow. Oh my gosh. This army is going to be giant. Okay, come on. Many are going to die to water. Some are going to enter the nether stupidly. But it's huge. And if I've learned anything from the Clone Wars, it's that the only reason why the wars keeps going is because the amount of soldiers they can output. Come on. Alright, you know what? No, this is still not good enough. Until my shovel is on the very last bit. Which will happen in just a few moments. Alright. Maybe. Shovel can go on for ages. Ah, there it is. And at this point, I turn the rest into blocks of snow, and I start filling. No, I've got a pig pen and a cow pen, but yet I don't use them. At all. One of them has 2 horses in it. So yeah, fun. Alright, let's see. so many. This army is already huge. I haven't even spawned any of them in, and I can just tell. Well, I mean, I still have lots of inventory space to fill, or snow blocks to place. Don't worry, pigs. You'll see what's happening soon. Very, very soon. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's snowy. Peter watched me do the first wave. Well, he will come back to see the second wave. As I slowly make it. Hold up. They will have no idea what I'm talking about. But they will soon see what I'm talking about. Be prepared. As I slowly but surely add the second wave in. Hello, Peter. The second wave is here. The second wave is here. And it's bigger and better than ever. It is here, Peter. You cannot stop it. Nobody can. Speaking of which, I'm going to borrow, infinitely borrow a few hundred pumpkins from you, if that's okay. Okay. I'm in the VC as well, so I'm in VC1, so. It is here. The second wave is here. It is unstoppable. Oh my gosh. You cannot stop me. Yeah, that's totally fine. Alright, well, the second wave's here, so. Yep, this is going to be good. I mean, honestly, I wonder what the other server members are going to think when they see this. Are they going to freak out or something else? Well, time to fill my inventory with pumpkins. Oh no, wait, what? Wait, do you keep your pumpkins somewhere else now? Or did I use them all for the last army? Oh no, I used them all. I used them all for the last army, didn't I? Well, harvest. You need to expand the pumpkin farm. Yeah, if I continue like this, we are going to have to. And I don't harvest my pumpkins. Yeah, I can tell. So I'm doing it right now. Oh, wait a second. They're going to die in the rain. Okay, I'm going to have to wait for it to stop raining. Then I am going to do it. This is going to be amazing. Alright, here's some more melons. I have no idea how many golems that's going to make, but it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. Jeez, all the snow's disappeared now. But there's going to be more very soon. This isn't going to be enough pumpkins. This is never going to be enough pumpkins. Ooh, wow, wow. Well, it is time to revive. You're still in the nether? Nice. I've done lots of work in the nether as well. As you can probably tell, I flattened it all. Well, everything we needed to, at least. Oh no. Yeah, I don't know. I need to get it. Alright, and crash landing. Perfect. Now, where is it? Where did I put it? Oh, right, it's in this chest over here, isn't it? Okay, it's not, apparently. But, boy oh boy, is this gonna be fun to do once I have enough pumpkins. Oh, look, I've got 11 pumpkins in here. Got 10 more in here. Nope. No. No. Nope. Yeah. Oh. Plunk. Amazing. Alright, well. We need so many. Oh, are you here? Let me come help. I'm going to head to the nether. Never mind. Oh, alright. Oh. Where are you even? Oh. Thank you very much. Okay. That works as well. Oh, geez, thanks. Okay, don't need that, don't need that. Yes, I see. Let's build you a bridge across. Oh, okay. Yep. This is the very precarious bridge, isn't it? Here, you know what? I got a better idea. Let's just use these now because... Yeah. Alright. Just build across, build across, build... There! And now... we can mine up. I ran straight into him. You should use your elytra. I gave you one. And getting mending and unbreaking is super simple, so. Alright. Back to the overworld. It's night and rainy. Great. Which means I have to wait. Clunk. That hurt. No. Woo. You know what? Maybe. I gave you all my gunpowder, Ben. Wait, you did? Oh, well, I can give you fireworks. I have over... I tried to elytra, but fell in lava. Yeah, it is. I guess it is quite hard, a bit harder in when you're in what's it called? In on a mobile device. So many chickens. The army is nigh. It is all coming soon. Also, who built this? Who took 4 of the iron blocks from here and built an iron golem? Because I've attacked him. He didn't attack me back, meaning it's not naturally spawned. Who did it? Who did it? The arena. Ugh. And the sign says the arena, so I'm not sure exactly who built this, but see, I attack it. His name is Gerald. No, his name is Jeff. You see, the name tag literally says it. You know what? Oh wait, I can't use that shovel because it needs repairing. His name is Jeff. Yes. Well. It's a big hole. You need more oak logs. Well, oak or dark oak, because we are surrounded by dark oak forests. Also, good news, I finally found a jungle. Took so long, but I found one. Neat, yes. It is very neat because now I've got bamboo. I'm a man who owns at least 20 cows. Well, I think you kill a lot of them, so you could own more. And I just realized that's what happened to all of the other snow golems. The rain got to them. Which is no good. Okay, now this is quality content. This is what people come here for. Just watching all the cows. And I'm getting levels from it. Through the cows. I have become one with the cows. You know what? Here. I know how to... Oh, little Pike. Hello, friend. How are you? Welcome to the... welcome. Welcome to the stream. I am one with the cows. You cannot see me. Yeah. Yep, here. Let me just, do this. Now you can't tell which one's me. Oof. You know what? Perfect. He'll never find it. He'll never find me. Lose him in the cows. Alright, well, time to put all my stuff back on because, yes. Oh my gosh, you actually repaired my shovel a little with all of that. Alright, well, we need more pumpkins. The army parasite. What? This chicken. Oh. I'm very sneaky, indeed. I am always sneaky. Alright, well, pumpkin. Pumpkin. I'm not doing this until A, it stops raining, and B, I have enough pumpkins. Arrow roulette. Yes. Arrow roulette. Very soon, my army will be unleashed. Yeah, that'll work. Our army, yes. It's our army, actually. Yeah. I provide the snow, you provide the pumpkins. In our army, we will have no control over. All we can do is watch. Well, up I go. Drink some water on my way up. It's like you provide soldiers, I provide armor. Exactly. This is a very... I feel like I'm not going anywhere. You can just see it. You can just imagine it. You can see the old tracks. Holy cow, is there still one alive? Oh, and there's a lava pit with a fence around it. Is there seriously? No! We have lost the final soldier. May he rest in peace. But his loss will not be in vain. As Wave 2 is... Are you on PC? Yes, I am. I am on PC, but playing Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Round 2 will begin shortly. Oh, what? Why is there just snowballs here? You know what? Don't question it. Just place it down and prepare for war. That's all you need to do. And you know what? Are my Are my potatoes ready for harvest? Ooh, ooh, they are. May it go. Fortune works on shovels for crops. So that's why shovels and hoes and stuff have fortune? That explains it all. I did not know that could work. But apparently it does. Alright, where's my hoe? There we go. Now wait for the water to drain so I can do these. Perfect. How? Okay, that is a lot of stuff. Oh wait, there's snowballs in here, meaning that's sad. Part of the army has died in there. All right, well, what? No, he died. I forgot. No. My water elevator is a bit too high for short distances, so I usually break my legs. Oof, that's gotta hurt. Let's see. We need more pumpkins. The army shall grow. Coming down. Okay. Oh look, and you still haven't removed the water I placed. We need more. Many potatoes. Exactly. I only eat potatoes. Even though Peter here has steak, I eat potatoes. And yes, he has offered to give me steak. I still refuse. I only eat potatoes. No, I'm not a vegetarian. You wish I was, but I'm not. Actually, you probably don't wish I was. Dude, you've got some snowballs in here. I'm taking them. We shall grow the army. The army shall grow even more. I'm using potatoes to fly. Amazing. Potatoes! Crunch. You know what? You at the pumpkin farm? I was. Is pumpkin pie forbidden? I don't know why. I don't eat it because it's a horrible food source and everything, but yeah. But I eat potatoes. Well, I eat potatoes, but I do not eat the potatoes. Where are the potatoes? Potatoes. I've got all the potatoes. What? Poison. No, they're potatoes. These are potatoes, not poison. These are potatoes. You have become... Exactly, potatoes. In the old days of this server, I started a cult based around the potato. I feel so healthy. Exactly. Potato. Oh, put all that in here. You know what? I'm gonna take a shulker box and fill it with all the quartz I have. You're gonna expand the pumpkin farm? Good. We need more so the army can grow. Alright, yep. Put all that in there, but quartz can come with me. Because while I could turn them into blocks, I can't. That means I can't turn them back into normal quartz, so that's sad and annoying. So here we are, and I'm now realizing that the title of the stream doesn't fit as well with what I'm doing because I'm not in the Nether. Okay. Yes. Let's see. Oh, I've got some mutton here. Baton. Oh, I just realized. Diamond Hoe acquired. You did what? You have done what? He has broken the unspoken rule. Actually, it's very much spoken. I've always had one. You. 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 You have done it. It is time to die. No. Not actually. I'm not that mean. Literally 2 diamonds. I have too much. I know. You have... Wait. Yeah, you have so many that you have given them away. That is how surprising it is. I wonder. Alright, and now I leave. We leave now. We leave now. We leave now. Actually, I don't have much. I don't have much. I just don't make good financial decisions. Well, it's good enough. I mean, honestly, you could just mine more. I wonder how many diamond blocks I have. Earlier in the stream, I got like 8 diamond ore, so don't know how much I really have. Because I use Fortune 3 on them. Which is always a nice addition. Honestly, nowadays players probably couldn't even imagine Minecraft without mending. Because that's like the holy grail of, if in doubt, you need something else. I mean, before we had to use diamonds just to fix our gear. But no longer. Those days are over. Clink. Ah, I've got 2 stacks. Still not enough. You know, I think the best part about this right now is that rarely anybody ever drops by on Mixer because, well, Mixer is a very unused platform, but when I was 8, I called poison potatoes holy potatoes. Well then, I have met my superior, the one who originally founded the potato cult. Yeah, it's nice to have people just drop by on Mixer because it's a very unused platform that I still stream on. Although, I do stream on Twitch and YouTube, but that's still nice to have people drop by on Mixer. In fact, before I even started this series, I was so skeptical. I never wanted to use diamond tools. If I found diamonds, I cherished them and never used them. Well, now that I've done this server, great. Wait, it gave me 3. It gave me 3. Wait a second. Smarts. Aw, that one only gave me 1. Destroy it. Okay, I'll stop. I was thinking that could be an easy way to expand the farm. But, nah. It's far too random. But yeah, I never wanted to use diamond stuff. At all. Unless I had mending. Now that this server has become something, I now always use diamond tools and don't care about the consequences. Because it's like, you know what? I'll just go mining. Yeah, that works. Oh, jeez. You've really... But I need 32 pumpkins. There you go. For replanting. Wait! I've got a better idea. Do you have any shears? Actually, wait. Oh, you do? Well, we can do that instead. We can shear the pumpkins. It'll give us a few. It'll give us... Or wait. That means we can just shear the pumpkins, and then it'll give you seeds. And it'll give me the pumpkins that we need. And I thought I can't remember entirely, but I feel like you can still do it in like what's it called? The crafting bench. Although that might no longer work. Yeah, that no longer works. Here, you know what? Let's just place down all my pumpkins. All the pumpkins that I have gotten, because that way you get the most amount of seeds. Are you sure these work? Yeah, they still do. I mean, honestly, have you never... If you see the snow golems, they're what's it called? Their faces literally have the shape of them. So, yeah, of course it works. This is just going to take a toll on my axe. I'm just realizing we can't reach many of these. Oh well. So many pumpkins. Alright, well. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that is a lot of seeds, isn't it? Oh. I know. I know they give more, but this way, you still get that more without, you still get a bunch, because this is this is quite a bit. But you still get, some out of it, so, oop. Normal pumpkins. All the ones that I've placed down are ones that still need to be sheared. Okay. Whoops. Also, I have a bunch of pumpkins or seeds on me, so if you need some more, I can give them. Yep, here. Seeds. Hand them over. This is a stick up. It's probably enough. Well, you're probably still going to get a lot more. Oh, excuse me for a moment. Have you ever tried cheering a snowman? Yes, I have. Your fence is gone. Oh, I've got your fence! Oh, no! Did not realize that. I just destroy, basically, because my axe is so powerful. No. I like it to try and find streams with 0 viewers. Well, you're a good person then, because that's also what I like to do. Sometimes when I'm done streaming on Twitch, I'll go find a person with very few viewers that plays a very not that popular game, and I'll just raid them with whoever I might have. Okay, 25 pumpkins that still need shearing. No, Ben. What? You have enough seeds? Well, start making another section of the farm. It continues. As I shear more. Gotta clear some mounds. I've got, dude, if you go towards the, iron farm, there's a hole in the ground with a bunch of, shulker boxes next to it. And one of those shulker boxes is a bunch of dirt and grass. That should be good for you. Alright, you can have all that. Why do I have stolen so many things from you because of all of that. Things are happening. My friend is my Steam friend is asking me a bunch of questions. Tries to mine pumpkins, but mines entire wood house. Exactly. I'll accidentally take your entire barn here. Oh boy, is this enough though? Oh yeah, wait. Here's another seed. That's my only question. Is this enough? Oh, Josh Gaykum, however you say that. I am not good at pronouncing names. Hello, friend. How are you? You're doing well this evening. You know what? It's time to begin. What? It's doing it again. It's glitching. What? What the heck? Wait. I know what's going on. I understand. You can build, you can make snowmen, but sideways. What? You can, it's like you could do with iron golems and stuff. Apparently that works with snow golems as well. I did not know. But it begins. Ah, I fell. More. It begins. Oh, hello, friend. Yeah, oh yeah, you're the one I saw with the comment. Hello, friend, how are you? I am unintelligent. Don't worry. You're not the only one. I'm confused right now. That's about it. But, it has begun. It has all begun. You cannot stop me. The golem, the army has been spawned in. Oh my gosh. And I'm not even halfway done with all of them. I still need more pumpkins. But the army is already gone strong. Ah, but they're already killing themselves. It's going pretty good. That's good to hear. Nyom. How many deaths is this already? How many snow golems have already died in this mayhem? They always find a way to get themselves trapped. Not kill themselves, but trap themselves. They normally do that. Oh, wait a second, Bob. Bob, is that you? I use their own against them. Jeez. This is going amazingly. This is going swimmingly. Amazing. Ugh. But there's still more to go. May need another Dude, just put mending on it. Should enchant that one. Yeah, maybe just put mending on it on Unbreaking 3. That could be good. Or you could get that one achievement that nobody can get. Because wasting diamonds on a hoe is stupid. Look. I am Wow. Wow. You are calling many of us out on that, aren't you? Alright, well. More pumpkins. The army shall grow. You're sending those snow golems to their doom. No, I'm not. Some of them chose this path. I wish they do not. But snow. Ben, put fences up. No. I prefer snow. I let them have free roam. Oh, the puns. Yes. The puns. They are strong with me. You can thank my dad. May all of them have freedom. Ho ho. Except many of them are still trapped. Oh my gosh! I'm going to guess they're all pushing each other in. What? Why is there a sign here? There's just a... That explains it. This is the death trap. I bet this dude would have walked right into that water if that sign was still there. And this... Oh my gosh. This is going great. This is going better than I would have ever expected. The snow wall blocks them all. Wait a second. I forgot. There's this down here. Could this guy... I don't know. Oh, so it's suicide? Exactly. I didn't make them do it. They did. Need to rattle some skeletals. Yes. Oh my gosh. I think this might be one of the original snowmen because... It might be because I forgot about being down here because this is only round 2. Oh my gosh, so many. But yeah, this is round 2. Freedom from Hey, I don't know what's so bad about their lives. Because look how great it is. You're living in this amazing swamp with a captive villagers, this giant railway, and an awesome house. An awesome little house. I don't know what's better. Slaves, captives, what's the difference? Yes, I can tell who you are, Bob. I can tell. This is going great. Anyways, let's talk about the new updates. What do we think about Netherite? Because this is one of the most controversial things other than the combat changes. What? So much useless gear. I know, right? Just slowly pushing the dudes to their deaths. I'm not pushing them. They're pushing each other. I'm surprised how few purchases there have been in here. I mean, somebody did purchase one of the elytras, but there's like some pretty good stuff in here. Like, I found a duplicate pickaxe of my current pickaxe. Glad we're on the same page here. Yes. So much. You know what? What happens if I were to punch one and it dies? The man that jumps high. How high can you jump, man that jumps high? Okay, you know what? You're staying up here. Walk straight off. Interesting conversation starter. I know, right? Huh. Huh. Well, huh. Ah, darn. Num 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 num. I need more. We must 8 stacks of bones. Ooh. And like 50,000 bows. So many pumpkins have regrown. Harvest! We need more. Ben, drop the bows on the ground when you're done. You should set it up. You should have an item filter that just gets a dropper and just dispenses and just drops all the items into lava or something, because that could be good. Ooh, pumpkin. Yoink! Alright. Melons, melons, melons. Num 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 num. Oh my gosh, they are traveling so far already. Okay, I guess that's not. I guess that sign wasn't the reason why they were all dying. I guess they're just stupid that way. But yes, round 2 has now begun. Round 1 was fun. Round 2 was even better. Although it's much slower because we need more pumpkins. I don't think we've ever been short of pumpkins. Oh. Perfect. So... Oh my... Well, I found where they all are. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a weirdo with a pumpkin in his hands. I am no weirder. I am no weirdo. Yes, I'm no weirder. I'm no weirdo. I am the golem master. I control the snow golems. I create the snow golems. Nobody can compete with me. Yes, this is great. Ooh, you know what? La da 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 la da 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 la da 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 la da 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 da. I got 9 out of that. 9 mushrooms. Ugh. You are the maker and the god to these snow golems. Exactly. Many of which probably hate, and which is why they're all jumping into the water. But many that are still captive because they all fell into that one area. Oh, this must be one of the slabs I removed on accident. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch, that hurts. Ben, when you get more pumpkins, I need like 32 for lots of seeds. Wait, have you already run out of the ones that we got? 9 not good enough? Wow, Ben. What? Yes, Ben. Oh, jeez. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. La da 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 da. Are you talking about all the golems? Because, yes, we always need more. There is never enough. You know what? Let's go take a small tour of the server. To the giant water tower. I'm not caught up on Minecraft, obviously. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the snow golems or something else? I'm fine with 9 mushrooms. Oh, 9 mushrooms. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have... Oh, wait, this doesn't have fortune. This does. This doesn't. Usually, though, I get more out of those things. So, that's why it was such a surprise. Woo. Alright, I'm here. Let's see. So, should we head over to the village, James's house, the ravine? Where should we head to? Where do you think we should go? The ravine, James's house, or the village? You know what? What? No. Why can't I pick it up? Let me pick up the water. No. What? What? What's happening? Yeah, cool. Maybe those noble golems can be help farmers? I don't know. What? Oh, geez. What the? That's why. Oh, okay. Ah! 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 Nah, sadly they can't. But where should we go? You know what? How bad did you mess up now, Ben? I don't know how bad I messed up, but apparently you can't use water buckets at 256. So annoying. Oh, back up I go. Whoosh. You know what? We're heading over to the village. Now, 2 of the members of the server live here, so... And I can tell this is their... Wait, is this... Yeah, this is their village. What's this? Please do not kill or take these animals. I'm gonna do both! That village is dead. Well, actually... don't flood the village, Ben. I'm not flooding any villages. Yet. But, this village is, I believe this is the village owned by, James and other James and, Jonathan. Yeah, it is. I recognize that mushroom-looking thing that's made out of dirt. I recognize this, yeah, this is definitely it. They don't hide anything in their pictures. How shameful. Yeah, exactly. You know what? I wonder. Oh. Okay. I wonder. Oh, no. Okay. I love how I can just easily put them back. They have a few blocks. Okay. A tiny enchanting room. Yeah. Oh, wow. They've got a lot of stuff that's just in these chests. Well, downstairs. My stuff? What? What about your stuff? I'm confused. Wait, yeah, I'm confused. What are you talking about? All right, let's head to the James's house. I thought you were talking about my place. No, not your place. I was talking about other James and Jonathan. All right, here we are. A gift from Oh, jeez. Jahanahan. Jahanahan. Exactly, Jahanahan. Well, none of these members have been on in quite some time, so none of them are caught up. And, well, let's head to the ravine now. Chair protection, Ben. What? What about chair protection? What's all this chair protection about? Water. Neom. Alright, I'm nearly there. When cereal have milk. If you are a criminal, if you put your milk in before your cereal. That is a fact. Alright. It goes spoon milk cereal bowl. Oh no. You never, ever put milk before cereal. Ever. Alright. Oh, to the ravine. Wow. It's a winter wonderland. Exactly. So, let's see. Home of hospitality. Nice little house. Lots of eggs. Yep, seems like her. Yep, that's definitely... it's definitely normal. Ouch. Ouch. Alright, let's see what Vincent's house has changed. Okay, he's changed all his walls. And floor. Got an ender chest. He's got an enchanting table with nothing next to it. He's got a bunch of stuff just randomly. It's got shulker. How do he get shulker boxes? Wait, hold up. I'm starting to get suspicions. Although, wait, he does have an elytra, doesn't he? I don't know what you're talking about hacks, because we have like 50 different shulker boxes. Well, whoosh. It was a joke, kinda. Also, yeah. Oh, And why are you making a giant block thing out of redstone? That's my next question. Shh. No, I will not shush. What is this, huh? Redstone. I understand that. You know what? This is mine. I'm taking it. Nah. Playing Secret Neighbor? Alright, nice. Look, you got 2 captive bullies here. You got 2 others in your house. And then you got 1 by your starter house. What's even in here? I have 1 + 1 + 2 + 2. Exactly. Wait. 1 + 1 + 2 + 2. What? But where is that other one? Oh, wait. Right. It's down in your giant crater. Your massive crater. Yeah, I forgot about that one. You know, you should lead them all into that cobblestone thing and just let them roam around in there. Anyways, I'm gonna head to the nether and try getting another 2 wither skeleton skulls. Pillager playpen. Exactly. And if we can start a raid, that would be even better because you could get even more. Inventor boy. Nice. Break their crossies. Exactly. So much snow everywhere. I'm still surprised none of them have gone up the minecart track. So many have died. Why do they just jump into the water? Fence the water, no. It's their choice. It's not mine. It's theirs and theirs alone. I wonder how many have gone into the nether. Ah, hello, JC. They have a vegetable brain, Ben. Am I the only one watching? I don't know. You might be. Actually, wait, no. No. I think it appears there are 2 people on Twitch and somebody on YouTube as well. Somebody else on YouTube. I heard that. You shall pay for your crimes. Against Skyrim Enter people. Yeah, exactly. Whoosh. Yeah, exactly. Yes, hello, JC. I don't know if I said that earlier. Alright, well, where art thou, wither helikins? Yeah, 2 of them, actually. Ooh, more gunpowder. When it rains, hey, burn. Yeah, that's going to be one of yeah, that's going to be the biggest issue with them. Is that they burn in rain. Perfect. By the way, Ben, I cannot connect my Microsoft account. And says, we tried to sign you into your Microsoft account, but something went wrong. Try again. Just try again. I'm sure it'll work eventually. Keyword here, eventually. Plus, you can't play the server until you do, so... Problems. Num 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 num. I've tried it for like 5 minutes straight and didn't work. Are you sure you have the right password? Hold up, they actually did it. What? They stole the diamond eye in my stature. What? Somebody stole the diamond eye block in your... Try again. Ben 2020. They replaced it with emerald, sneaky fellas. Well, that probably happened a while ago, because I thought it was always emerald. Or at least one of them I thought was emerald. But, you know, bro, I know exactly who it is now. I think I know, not my diamond eye, yeah. Yeah, but... Ben, you broke the water, exactly. I need that to see. Yeah. You have no idea what we're talking about, I know. I know it. There seem to be no wither skeleton, so I'm guessing I can't play NPM, yes. You cannot play until you sign into your Microsoft account and have an Xbox app account. Yeah. Alright. You know what? I love O2. Exactly. I love H2O more. Actually, no. Are comments slow on your side? I don't know. I mean, I have at least a 5-second delay, but they could be. Dihydrogen monoxide. Exactly. Oh, I just noticed the chat is on your left side. Yeah. It's on this side. I might be pointing right. I don't know. But it's not on this side. It's on this side. No, it's the stream delay, he said. Yeah, my stream delay is 5 seconds. Oh, okay. I went to Sparta kick him. It backfired. Oh, yeah. Ow, that burns. That burns. I thought there were... You're pointing the correct way. Okay, good. But I'm coming with. Cool, you might want an elytra. You might want to use your elytra over here. But now we just wait. I wonder. I wonder. Huh! How far does it go? Not far enough. Okay. Wait, where'd he go? You know what? Fine. You will have to do. Push your friend off. Do it. Do it. Do it. They both did it. Yes. Yes, I didn't even have to go and Sparta kick the other one. Wow, but I had absolutely no idea that fire burns amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Where's that gas I keep hearing? Oh, well, quartz. Quartz. Lots of quartz. And I dare not turn it into blocks because this can be used for comparators and observers and all that good stuff. Enemy spotted. I entirely missed. Why? How? And he hits me. Okay. This game is rigged. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Oh, there's two of them over there. Okay. And there's a normal skelly, which is even worse. Awesome. And he dropped a stone sword. You know what? Where did the other one go? He went somewhere down here. Oh, there he is. Oh, okay. You don't fly with Elytra. It's just one really long jump. Well, then isn't that the same with airplanes? Fireworks are just jump boost potions. Yeah. They're like extremely big but extremely small jump boost potions as long as you have the correct elytra. Oh. You know what? Blaze, you are going down. He avoided all but one of my shots. Ah, it burns, it burns, it burns. I wish I did try that because I was hoping I could get it. It would just appear for a split second, put me out of my fire, and then stop. But nope. Oh, so where are they all? Oh, there's one. There's one. You are mine, Skelly. Ouch! I said you're mine, not... Yes! Second one acquired. The Secret Neighbor one and the SCP one. Well, now I've been in 2 streams. Oh, yeah. We've got 2. We've got 2. We just need 1 more. Okay. Hmm. He's looking at me. He's looking at me. It's looking at me. Oh, there's another one. 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 Forget that. Ugh. Oh. Oh, that was useless. But that was delicious. Everyone, is your hair naturally red? Me, no, I soak it in the blood of my enemies every night. Exactly. Wait a second. Sparta! Yeah. Definitely. Oh, okay. Ah! You saw. Like me, what? Alright. Oh, I'm gonna run around here, hopefully finding something. Oh boy, I'm gonna need some real unclean, yeah. Num 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 num. Get rid of those. And time to ah, it's a baby. Quick, everyone, confuse Ben. What? What are you talking about, confuse me? Have you not seen how easy it is to confuse me? Your one weakness. Are you sure about that? I have multiple. To wither kakabushed me. Oh, there's 3 up here. And none of them. Dropped it. Great. Oh. Give me those. Alright. Ha! You fool! I am unstoppable! Awesome. EXP! Experience. Alright, so, where's the next one? There it is! I missed! I missed! Avenge me! Are you trying to summon the Withered? Yes. Then fight it with your army of snow golems who are probably dead by now? No. It wasn't an original idea to fight it with the snow golems, but that is a very good idea. Ugh. Amazing. Ah! The hit failed! The hit failed! It still failed. And you failed! Yes, I know I failed. That's why I said I failed. If I didn't know I failed, I wouldn't have said I failed. Oh! Oh, come on! I can't even walk without falling off. Oh, baby. The spawn of the century. Oh, okay, well. Oh, that was easy. What? Okay. Oh. And now we wait. Again. Bow wow. Talking about flying and missing and falling, it's just a delay. Yeah, I know. I understood. I know I failed. That's why I said I failed. If I didn't know I failed, I wouldn't have said anything. Water. Amazing. Nutritious. Drink today. It's better than soda. Where art thou? Where art thou with skeletons? You know what? Let's do some flying around. What the? There's instead of two skeletons, you give me two normal skeletons. It's 3 normal skeletons, not wither skeletons. Oh, ugh, it's disgusting. To be fair, anything's better than soda in my opinion. Exactly. Except meatloaf. That stuff is disgusting. Oh, hello. How are you doing today? Perfect. Now we wait. Finally, someone who agrees with me. I don't understand how people like meat mushed together. Is it even meat? I don't even know. That's how much I hate it. But meat mushed together with vegetables and fruit. I don't even think there's fruit. Because fruit is good. It would be good if there was fruit. I respect your opinion, Ben. Thank you. Alright, where are the wither skeletons? Where is that ghast? There it is. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Ah! I'm going for more patats. Oh wait, actually, hold up. No! Soda has meat and vegetables squished together now. Now you. No, I'm talking about meatloaf. Oh no, it's raining! It's raining, no! The death is everywhere. It's so sad. So saddening just to see everything die. Well, back to the nether. Now that I've got my food. Nam 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 nam. So many losses. I know. It's so sad. You hate to see it. You hate to believe it. Clunk. Alright. Does rain kill snow golems? Yes. That's why they were all dead. Because water kills them, rain must kill them as well. You know what? I should release my snowman army in like a on top of a mountain or something next time. Alright, where are these fools? I need my third head. You know what? I think I heard something over here. What the? What? It goes all the way out here? Ouch. Whoa. Oh, there. That can't even hit me. No, you need your coffee. What do you mean I need my coffee? Only 3 survived the elite. The ultimate 3, yeah. What do you mean I need my coffee, I don't need coffee. He didn't see. Good. Oh yeah, I forgot about this path. I wonder how long I can survive! You know what? I'm doing it. Ah! Okay, time to turn back. Oh no! Okay, block those off. There. Oh, I've done it. I made safe passage! Oh. By the way, Ben, any updates on Eker? No. So, there is another one. That's good to know. It's kind of weird seeing my name in the video so much. Well, get used to it. It's just a blaze spawner, which is upsetting, but oh well. Are there any more wither skeletons? Because I'm ready to just start using commands and spawning them all in. Nah, I'm not going to do that. You know what? Just sit back and relax. Woo! What game are you streaming next, Ben? Nothing? Nothing? I'm not streaming anything after this because tomorrow's Sunday, which means I don't stream because I have school the next day. And I like to stick to one game every day, so Minecraft all tonight and then I have to get off. I don't even know if you guys can see me anymore. I'm going to guess you can, but I'm stretched out and feeling good. And now to get back up. Ouch. Oh no, my chair's falling apart again. I need more duct tape. Where's my duct tape? Where's the duct tape? Where's the duct tape? Where is it? There it is. Found it. You feel like streaming Farming Valley MC tomorrow? Alright. Only barely. Oh. Oh, okay. Ugh. I need duct tape. Got it. Time to fix my chair again. Perfect. It's fixed. Oh. Should I do it, Ben? I don't know. Your decision. Num num num. Num 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 num. Num num. Num 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 num. What the? Did I just see that correctly? So you saw it too? Oh, and there's its drops. Yeah, so I saw it correctly. Okay. Okay, my eyes weren't dying inside. You know what? I'm going to break the #1 rule of Minecraft in the most dangerous place in Minecraft. Real close to that follower goal, Ben. Yeah, I know. Well. Yes! Please, what? Scary. Oh no. Oh. I made it! I made it! This is JC, isn't it? That gas popped up way too close. Huh. Oh. I'm going down. Oh. I have reached it. Sorry, I accidentally messed up YouTube. What do you mean? What did you do, huh? Oh, boy. Dude, over here. Look, 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 look. I don't know. Maybe it's because I have an elytra. I just realized, Ben, you must have a good PC because you stream 3 different platforms. I use a, what's it called? I use a tool, an online tool known as Restream to do it, so my PC is good because I can run this server 24/7, stream on it, and play on the server itself. And still have my CPU usage and GPU usage and everything still pretty good. But streaming on 3 different platforms, if I were just using my PC for that, that'd be a problem. What platforms? I'm on Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer. I know you use Restream because you told me. Yeah, it's very useful. And you know what? You are all getting an early update. Streams are no longer going to be happening on my YouTube channel. They're going to instead be happening on my archive channel, so I don't have to move the streams from my normal channel to my archive. Because that's just too annoying. Ow! I hit you. I'm on the YouTube one. Yeah, I know. Ouch. Where art thou with our helicans? Yeah, well, you'll still be able to watch them, but you'll have to go to my archive channel, which is on, which you should be able to find quite easily, actually. It's literally, oh my gosh. JC? This is JC, right? Yeah, it is JC. Yeah, JC, I can see who requests the songs. Is it on YouTube? Yes, that's where my archive channel is. It's called, I believe it's like the Ben2445 Fun Archive or something, but it's in the list recommended to subscribe on my homepage. So yeah. So then. I have made a wall. An impenetrable wall. Ha 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 ha. Behind you. Charge! I got it! I got it! Did it drop anything? Ouch. Did it drop anything worth noting? So, you the new Donald Trump then, Ben? What? Oh. Did it drop anything of importance? You! What? Stone sword, so nothing of importance. Got it. 1/5 usage. Have to dye your hair blonde. Yes, I immediately proposed. No. 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 You know what? America's over here now. I just moved the entire country. Do you see? I will remove your privileges. Understand? I made a mistake with the Yule part. What? Skelly bone! There's a skelly bone! I'm tired. You can tell. Did I ever tell you, Ben, I've dyed my hair before? Really? I didn't know that. You've never told me. I moved the country over to this side. You can't get in. You thought it would be that easy. You thought it would be that easy. Oh, ouch. You thought it would be that easy? Oh, I can't even reach you. Did I tell you I'm smelly? What? Did you think it would be that easy? Haha! You have been defeated. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I knew that. I realized that. No, no. Perfect. I have done. Oh wait, I just blocked myself out of my own country. What do you mean you keep messing up the chat? You're messing up nothing. Also, if you see any mobs on this bridge, just kill them. We need to free up the mob cap, basically. You will give me your head. You will give me your head. Either way, good night, Ben, before my mom yells at me. Oh, alright. Good night. Oh! This is Sparta! Wow, 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 wow. What did it just go off? Oh my gosh, it did. Okay. Num num num. How about skull bones? What? Yes? I don't know. What? Mine. We have got one. We need more. This is Sparta! Ho, ho, ho. It dropped something. I thought it dropped something. I guess it didn't. I was about to hit it off, but nope. You had it all. They're part of the head. Yes. No. I just want the head. I want its head. Or its skull. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, they're not heads, they're skulls. So, how silly of me. Bow denial. Bow denial. Oh, wait. Bow denial. You're right. Wow! You have taken it from me. But I have taken the earnings. Alright. Where art thou? Oh, there's two of them. Did you get anything? No? Darn. Amazing. Do-do, 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 do-do. I was about to say, I haven't seen anything spawn over here in quite some time, but look at that, a blaze just did. And now it's mine. Okay. I'm in danger. Because if Peter shoots one arrow, just one arrow at me, I'm dead. Okay, what? What are you shooting at? Oh, there's a skelly bone. And a blaze. They all just fall off. It's like, you know what? I'd rather fall off than meet a fate worse than death. You. Wood link. What? What are you? What? I'm confused. Oh, there's two skellies. Great. They're chilling over there, yeah. You know what? I'm so bored that I'm doing it again. Oh, darn. No. Ha 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 ha! I did it! Ouch. Where's thou ghost? Sparta kick it! Sparta kick it! Perfect. Let's see. There's the ghast! Well, that's where the ghast is. Okay. Oh, I see now. Okay. Got it. Oi! Oi, what do you think you're doing over here, huh? Huh? Amazing. Hey, don't shoot it. We need the looting. We need the loot. Okay, you can shoot the blaze. We just need the looting on the skeletons because... Got it. Okay. Huh. Oh, I see how it is. Ah! Oh, okay. Got it. As you can tell, I'm very heads-on. Now, normally I wouldn't be so head-on, but it's Minecraft, so I'm doing it. To the overworld! Uh, Peter. 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 To the overworld. To the overworld. To the overworld. To the overworld. We have done it! Yes! We have done it. We have it. So many snowballs of all of the snowmen we have lost. F, yes. F indeed. Jeez, look at all of this. What's magma cream for? Potions. Yeah, potions. Can't remember which potions it can make, but it can make potions. That is as good as you're getting. Okay. Alright. Do I even have one place down? No, I don't. Okay. Okay. We're going to want all three of these brewing stands operational. Oh, thank you. So, we're going to take all of these, I do not have good organization, but it don't matter. I think it makes fire resistant potions, but I'm not sure. Alright, now grab as many buckets as you can as well. I'm gonna need them. What is the question mark about? No, don't fill them with water. We're filling them with milk. That's going to be very helpful for us. Moik. Yes. Now, where is that other skull? Where did I just throw it? There. There it is. I found it. We have all three skulls that are needed. So, I need to divide this into 7, so... Alright, this one gets 8. This one gets 8. 8. 7. 7. 7. 7. Okay, so... Let's see. Minecraft potions. Because I need to find the potion list. Alright. Found it. Hey. Hey, what was that all about? Oh, I turned all mine into blocks again so we could build up the army again. So we're going to want healing potions and probably strength. So, alright, let's see. What does that mean we need? So, we need... Okay, so what we'll need is probably going to be... So blaze powder. Okay, we want blaze powder. Glycering melons. Ooh. What about regen? Gas tiers. Okay, so then... What else would we want? Huh. Oh, time to start brewing. Because this war is going to take a toll. Oh yeah, I forgot. We've already got potions of instant healing from the end. So those will be useful. But wait, what happened to the rest of them? Okay, I've got 2. I'm going to turn... Oh wait, I can't use this. 8 golden apples. Yeah, I've got a bunch of golden apples, I think. Alright, gold. Gold nuggets. That's what we need. Mind grabbing some of those, melons from your, farm, and your chests? Those will be useful. Drinking some milk. Okay. That's a lot of glycering melons we can make. Okay. So we need blaze powder, which we've got. Let's see. We're also going to want dust, glowstone dust, so that'll be good. Yeah. Melons. Let's see. What else do we need? Doesn't look like much. Oh yeah, gas tier. That's for regen, so that'll be useful. So 7. I got 7 of those. So yeah. Alright. I know I made a bunch of bottles for honey. Question is, where did I put them? There they are. Alright, those can be useful, hopefully. Oh yeah, that's right, we need nether wart. Although I do have some, so that's okay. Alright. Yeah, do ender pearls go into anything? I don't think they do. Yeah, no, they don't. So, where's my nether wart supplies? There they are. Do I have any more? I'm going to guess no. Alright, I guess not. Now, question is, do I have... How much soul sand do I have? Wait, what? I hit the bed? That's confusing. Okay, but anyways. Like sleep? What do you mean? Hit the hay but bed? No, I literally, when I was going into the chest, apparently I was able to right-click the bed instead of the, chest. Nether wart, yes. We need it to, make, the potions. I'm gonna take this one. Oh, thank you. Alright, melons. Glycering melons. That's a stack of glycering melons. Holy cow. Yeah, do I have any bones in any of these chests? Yes, I do. Does bone meal work on these? Ah, fudge. Well, rip in peace. Yes, rip in peace indeed. Alright, let me open back up my chat. I forgot to do that after I did this. Alright, let's see. Get all that back into gold, throw it in there. Oh. I don't need these, but okay. Amazing. Ah. Want some shells? Nah, I'm good. We prepare for this battle, which will probably have to happen another day. Whoosh. Tomorrow, preferably, yeah. Although, we might have to wait a week. Who knows? Thousands of blocks away. Yeah, well, good news. I got a nether portal set up. And we also, you want to find a sword with smite on it. Like smite, I have an iron sword here with smite 5 on it. This will be better to kill the wither with than my sharpness 5 diamond sword. Yeah. Maybe I'll make another diamond sword. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing, but we don't have any smite 5 villagers. Oh, yeah, I even passed one up because I thought smite wasn't that good. And it still isn't good. It's just that having smite with the wither is best option. I'm trying to eat rockets. What am I doing with my life? And we're not going to be making fire-resistant potions, so... Consumes rocket. Yeah, exactly. So much snow. And look, we've got 3 survivors over here. Definitely going to make a new bow. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Yeah, these are the 3 that survived. I'm going to guess that the fences will help them live. Alright, and I'm going to make more rockets as well. That'll be good. Because I am a rocketeer. Oh, wait. Oh, what do you guys think you're doing? Why can't they jump up here? Wait, hold up. Just let this dude come to us, and let's see if he can jump up. Oop. Just watch. He can't. He doesn't jump off. He's so passive now. Oh, guess what? I'm over here. Oh, you can't jump up? The word is too scary for him. Exactly. Well. Useless. Can't remember what the max growth is of nether wart. Is this it? Or does it go one higher? Yeah, it goes one higher. This is very good. Does light actually affect plant growth? I don't think so. But it, well, does with normal plants. I'm not sure about netherwort, though. But we'll try it. And see how, if this helps at all. I wonder if it works better in darkness. Who knows? I mean, the nether isn't that dark. That's the thing. Wait a second. Hold on. Look across the lake. Do you see what I see? Yeah, you do see it. Creeper in a boat. Yeah. Wait, no, what? He's a captive. Exactly. They're all captive now. They're not slaves, they're captives. There's no difference. Ah! Oh, wait, I fell. Whoops. Now look at all this. Alright, you know what? I'm going to get off for the night, so I'll see you who knows when, Peter, but... Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, see you then. And for the rest of you, thank you for watching. It's been tons of fun. Hopefully next stream we will be fighting the Wither. I mean, that'll be a fun stream as you watch us die over and over and over again. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.